Have you ever felt overwhelmed by life's challenges, or found yourself stuck in a loop of stress and negativity? If so, you're not alone. But what if I told you there's a philosophy that, when applied, can help you remain calm, resilient, and in control, no matter what life throws at you? Today, we're diving into 11 powerful Stoic principles inspired by Epictetus, one of the greatest minds in Stoicism. These principles will empower you to build a fortress of inner peace that nothing can shake. 1. Understanding what you can and cannot control. Epictetus famously taught, "Some things are up to us and some things are not." This is the cornerstone of Stoic philosophy. It might sound simple, but mastering this distinction can transform your life. Things we can control versus things we cannot control. Things we can control include our thoughts, actions, and choices. Things we cannot control include other people's opinions, the past, and external events like the weather. Think about it. How often do we waste energy stressing over things outside our control? Instead, Stoicism encourages us to focus solely on what we can influence. Here's how you can apply this principle in your daily life. Practical tip 1. Start by listing a challenge you're facing. Then divide it into two categories: what's within your control and what isn't. Practical tip 2. Redirect your energy toward actions you can take rather than worrying about outcomes. For instance, if you're nervous about an interview, focus on preparing rather than obsessing over the result. 2. Perception shapes reality. Epictetus said, "Men are disturbed not by things, but by the views which they take of them." In other words, it's not the event itself, but how you interpret it that causes distress. This principle teaches us that we have the power to reframe situations. Your perception is your reality. Imagine being stuck in traffic. You can either see it as wasted time or as an opportunity to listen to your favorite podcast. The situation hasn't changed, but your mindset has. Practical tip 1. Pause and ask yourself, is my reaction helping or harming me? Then consciously choose a response that serves your well-being. Practical tip 2. Practice gratitude. Even in tough situations, find one thing to appreciate. This shifts your perspective and reduces negative emotions. 3. Living in harmony with nature. Stoicism emphasizes living in accordance with nature. But what does that mean? For Epictetus, it's about aligning your actions with reason, virtue, and the natural flow of life. When you fight against reality, you create unnecessary suffering. But when you accept life's natural flow, you find peace. Think of a river. If you try to swim upstream, you'll exhaust yourself. But if you flow with the current, you move effortlessly. This principle reminds us to stop resisting what is and start adapting. Practical. Tip 1. Practice acceptance. For example, if a project gets delayed, instead of resisting, use the extra time to refine your work or learn something new. Practical tip 2. Embrace impermanence. Remind yourself that change is a natural part of life, and resisting it only leads to frustration. 4. The power of voluntary discomfort. Epictetus taught that by practicing voluntary discomfort, we build resilience and appreciate life's comforts more deeply. This principle encourages us to step out of our comfort zones deliberately. By doing so, we become stronger and less dependent on external luxuries. Practical tip. Try small acts of voluntary discomfort, like skipping a meal or taking a cold shower. These practices help you build mental toughness. 5. Amor fati, love of fate. Amor fati, or the love of fate, is about embracing everything that happens, even the challenges, as part of your journey. Rather than resisting or lamenting difficulties, Stoics see them as opportunities for growth. Practical tip. When faced with setbacks, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? By viewing obstacles as teachers, you cultivate resilience. 6. The importance of memento mori. Memento mori reminds us that life is finite. By keeping our mortality in mind, we live more intentionally and appreciate the present. This isn't about fearing death, but about using it as a motivator to focus on what truly matters. Practical tip. Take a moment each day to reflect on the temporary nature of life. Use this awareness to prioritize what's most meaningful to you. 7. Virtue above all. For the Stoics, living virtuously is the ultimate goal. Virtue is about embodying qualities like courage, justice, and self-control. When you prioritize virtue, external circumstances lose their power to disrupt your inner peace. Practical tip. Identify a virtue you want to strengthen. Set daily intentions to practice it, whether it's being kinder, more patient, or more disciplined. 8. Mindfulness and presence. Mindfulness is a cornerstone of Stoic practice. Epictetus taught that being present allows us to fully engage with life and make rational choices. When you're mindful, you're less likely to react impulsively and more likely to respond thoughtfully. Practical tip. Dedicate a few minutes each day to mindfulness, whether it's through meditation or simply focusing on your breath. 9. Journaling for self-reflection. Journaling is a powerful tool for self-improvement in Stoicism. By reflecting on your actions, you can identify areas for growth. Epictetus encouraged his students to examine their behavior daily. This practice helps you stay aligned with your values. Practical tip. At the end of each day, write down what went well and what could have been better. Over time, this habit will guide you toward a more virtuous life. 10. The dichotomy of control in relationships. Stoicism teaches us to apply the dichotomy of control in our relationships. You can't control how others act, but you can control how you respond. This principle reduces frustration and helps you maintain harmony in your interactions. Practical tip. When faced with conflict, focus on expressing yourself calmly and let go of the need to control the other person's reaction. 11. Gratitude as a daily practice. Gratitude is central to Stoicism. By appreciating what you have, you create a sense of contentment and peace. When you practice gratitude, you focus on abundance rather than lack, which shifts your mindset. Practical tip. Each morning, write down 3 things you're grateful for. Over time, this habit will train your mind to focus on the positive. Putting it all together. By understanding what you can control, mastering your perception, living in harmony with nature, practicing voluntary discomfort, embracing fate, remembering mortality, prioritizing virtue, staying mindful, journaling, improving relationships, and practicing gratitude, you create a resilient mindset. Stoicism isn't about suppressing emotions or ignoring challenges. It's about empowering yourself to face life's ups and downs with wisdom and strength. Which of these principles resonates with you the most? Let me know in the comments. And if you're ready to dive deeper into Stoicism, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more insights. Together, let's build a life of peace, purpose, and resilience. Stay strong, stay stoic.